Welcome everyone, my name is Molly, and welcome to the BYB Insider. And here is your host, the big guy.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to the internet's #1 favorite show. This is the BYB Insider, and I'm your host, the big guy. So here we are. The playoffs are unfolding, and at the end of them, there will be 2 teams remaining, vying for the affections of Dina, while the rest of these guys are just squirrels trying to find a nut. And speaking of absolute nuts, later on in this episode, you're going to hear from those 2 guys. That's right, I'm not going to tell you who it is, but you're going to hear from them as for the first time in BYB show history. You're going to get 2 guests simultaneously in the war room. That's what the war room's all about, kiddies. It's about the greatest stats and the best interviews, as I promised at the beginning of this season. And speaking of the season, well, I guess our little takeover event is over now that the, mystery girl ended up with an appendicitis. So I guess that's all over with as well. So we don't care about loser leagues and loser people in that league. We only care about the best fantasy football. And we're going to start right now. All right, fans, here we go. It's the 3-and-outs and Boone Jessica White, your 11-12 matchup. Let's start it off on the Boone side, and Boone came in looking at least to try to find some way out of the toilet bowl game. Jonas Gray wasn't helping, but Kyle Orton, Ingram, and Julio's down by the schoolyard with 17 points. Flipping around, Rob Gronkowski and DeQuell Jackson made that look to happen for the Boone boys. But Mark Muncy himself came out of the doldrums. Hello, Lamar Miller, 25 points. Eddie Royal matching him. Matt Ryan finally showing up, and Eddie Lacy continuing his fantasy resurgence. You're flipping around on the backside. Not much on the defensive effort for Mark, but it really didn't matter in the end as the Boone boys fall into the toilet bowl game. 101 to 99.5. We're moving on. New colors here, by the way, folks. How you liking that crap? Yeah. The McConnell Mud Dogs and Let Me Kick. The loser finds their way to the toilet bowl game, but Tommy Quick was not going to allow it to happen to the Dogs. Russell with 39 points. Flipping around to the backside, Julius Peppers and Eric Weddle kicking in huge contributions on the defensive side. Could the Let Me Kick boys come up with the answer? No. Steven Jackson and Eric Decker fell through. Peyton Manning still struggling. 12 points only for Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning liking as you take it to the backside. The help didn't arrive for Charlie Brown. He'll find his way to the toilet bowl game as well as he loses a heartbreaker to the Mud Dogs. 131 to 70.5. We're moving on. It's the Guild and the Pound Town boys meeting up. The Guild looks to try to reclaim some momentum for next year, and with Ryan Tannehill's 37 points, Gio with 18, and Jonathan Stewart's 20, it helped. But T.Y. Hilton posting up a goose egg and not much out of Mike Evans, and you flip it around. The goose egg trend continued for Dwayne Allen. T.J. McDonald there with a great score, but not much else happening for the Guild. Would that end up hurting them? The Pound Town boys came up with an answer in ODB. 34 points. Fred Jackson with 19, offsetting a off game by Stafford and Jamal Charles, but you flip around to the backside, now you see the dagger. Jason Witten with 22 points and Clay Matthews scoring down big, and it gets the Pound Town boys over. They win at 123 to 110.5. We're moving on to the Black Angels and the UPS, the 5-6 game. We're going to start it off with the Angels, and the Angels point totals have been down over the last week, and unfortunately the trend would continue. Not much out of Aaron Alfred with a mediocre game, and Roddy and Jeremy Macklin also with mediocre games. And you flip it around and not much out of the defensive side. Clinton Dix. Yeah, we get to call that again. Woo! Flip it around to the UPS side, and would they come up with a big answer? No. Welcome to Goose Egg Theater, folks. Luck, Green, Julian Edelman coming up with nothing. You flip it around, Olivia Vernon, nothing there, no points to speak of, and it leads to disaster for the UPS in the tune of BYB history. The lowest point scored ever, 48.5 to 80.5. We're in the A bracket now. Your 2 and 3 matchup. The Sex Panthers came to face the Marys, and we're into the box scores, and the Panthers came out strong. Forte, CJ Anderson, Jordy Nelson, Dez with a great game. Ben Roethlisberger mediocre, but they were there. But you flip it to the backside, and it looks a little light for Larry Dameron. Could it hurt their chances of getting to the BYB Championship game? Yes, because here comes the Marys. Tom Brady with a mediocre game, but Foster, Matt Asiata with a 23-point game. Randall Cobb scoring down big, and you flip it around and say hello to the MVP, Antonio Gates. 28 points, and it leads to a monumental upset. The Marys eliminate the Panthers, 151 to 135.5, and we're moving on to the game of the week presented by Pyrotech. It's the A-Team and the Cobra Kai's. 1 and 2 for most of the years. They're meeting up in the 1 and 4 game. Let's take it to the A-Team. The A-Team leading the standings most of the year, and with point totals like that, you can see why. Except maybe Robert Griffin coming up a little bit light, but decent scores all the way around for the A-Team. You flip it around to the backside. Look at Jermaine Gresham. Who? 21 points, but no points out of Adam Vinatieri. Would that end up hurting them? Yes, because here comes the Kais at the right time. Marshawn and Emmanuel Sanders scoring down big. Toby Gerhart out of nowhere with 12 points himself. Superstar Jimmy Graham coming through. J.J. Watt and Morgan Burnett, huge defensive scores, and it leads to the upset. The Kais get to the championship game again, 130.5 to 113. And now for the bowl week matchups. We start off with the 2000 Flushes Toilet Bowl. Let Me Kick will come and take on Boom Jesco White. Who's going to wear the donkey crown? We got the Cialis Up All Night Bowl. It will feature 2 familiar foes, Evans and Muncie, the Outs and the Guild. The Trojan Inns Boner Bowl will pit the UPS coming off of that disaster. Will come and face Tommy Quick and his Mud Dogs. And a new bowl, the $5 Footlong Bowl, will pit the 5 and 6. Black Angels will face the Pound Town. And now you have the Bits Consolation Bowl, which will pit the Panthers and the A-Team. And now for the big one. The BYB Championship game presented by Pyrotech puts 2 former champions against one another. Jared Taylor looking for his second consecutive title, and Jacob Workman looks for his first title since the inaugural championship game. Somebody's coming away with 2. We'll find out next week.
Welcome to the War Room. Our guests this week is Jared Taylor and Jacob Workman. 2 guests at one time, big guy? Oh, that sounds kinky.
It's Warzone time, kiddies, and as I promised earlier in the show, here they are. 2 for 1 even. It's Mr. Jared Taylor, owner of the Cobra Kai's, and Jacob Workman, the owner of the Hail Mary. They're going to go mono and mono for Dina. Jared, Jacob, how's it going, fellas?
Pretty good, I guess. Absolutely. Very well.
So, fellas, the BYB Nation wants to know, It's been a long road to Dina. Fellas, what do you attribute to getting you here to the final step?
A little bit of luck and some good trades. Really, Mick Evans got me here. Thanks, Mick.
Lots of trades, mainly with this guy right here. If I didn't have Calvin Johnson, I wouldn't be here.
You're welcome.
So, Jared, what's it going to mean for you to be able to win this game and win back-to-back titles and join Brian Baisden as the only repeat champion of the BYB?
It would be nice to win 2 in a row, but I don't know that my team's good enough to win another one. So we may just have to let Jacob have that one.
So, Jacob, Jared's tossing it to you and saying he thinks that you would be a better champion. What would it mean to you?
Hold on, I didn't say he'd be a better champion. I just said he might win it. I don't mean he's better than me. He just might have more luck.
Hey, if he wants to give it to me, I'll take it with open arms.
I'm not going to give it.
Jacob, winning the first ever Dina Spencer trophy way back 6 years ago was an absolute monumental feat for you. What would it mean after a 6-year absence to climb to the mountaintop again and claim Dina?
Well, I don't want people to feel like when I won it my first year, I don't want people to think it was a fluke. I want people to know that I'm here.
So, Jared Taylor, the Cobra Kai's looking to defend your title and win 2 in a row. Who is your MVP of this team this year?
Without a doubt, second year in a row, J.J. Watt.
Jacob, same question. If you had to assign your team's MVP, who do you got?
Arian Foster, no doubt about it.
So, fellas, good luck in the championship game. I'm sure it'll be an instant classic. So, with that, the floor is yours. Parting words, gentlemen.
I have one thing I would like to say to Larry Dameron and Tommy Quick, who were guests on the show before, and both spent too much time talking about how pretty they thought they were. Well, maybe if they would have spent more time on fantasy football instead of looking in a mirror, they'd be standing here where we are today. Yeah.
That's going to wrap up the War Room for this episode, kiddies, and it's also going to wrap up the show. We would like to thank Jacob Workman and Jared Taylor, your 2 participants in the BYB Championship game. Should be an instant classic, and we're looking forward to seeing who's going to grab a hold of Dina. But as I said before, that's going to...
Hello, big guy.
Yes, Molly?
Incoming message.
Incoming message from whom? There's no... Oh... Well, it's you. I would have thought your appendicitis took you out by now.
Well, if it isn't Brian Baisden.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I think you have me confused with somebody else. My name is the Big Guy, and I am the host of the BYB Insider.
Yada. We all know that you're Brian Baisden. Cut the crap. You use the Big Guy way too much. But I know who you are. I heard you making fun of me earlier with my appendicitis, but unfortunately for you, I'm still around.
Yeah. Congratulations. I am Brian Baisden, and I am the owner of the Black Angels, the 2-time
Yada.
BYB World Champion. And I made you a challenge for next week. So what do you say? You going to quit running your mouth and accept? Because I'm tired of these interruptions from you and that loser league. It's time for you to put up or shut up.
I accept your challenge under one term. When you lose, it's the end of your career.
So, you want my career? I guess I have no other alternatives. I want to get rid of you and get rid of your secondary league. So, yes, I accept. I will put my career on the line, and my BYB career is over for the show and in the league if you win. But when I win and take care of your little loser team, you're gone forever.
I'll see you next week, and when I do, it'll be the end of your career and the end of this show. You will no longer be the owner of the Black Angels. I'm taking over. Later, loser.
Well then, little girl, I guess we'll see one another on the battlefield. But this is going to wrap up this episode. We're out of here. Next week, a BYB champion will be crowned and a little girl will get her crown. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching the BYB Insider. Please join us again in 2 weeks for another exciting episode as we continue the quest for the Dina Spencer Trophy.